Okay, so these are the ingredients that you guys need. I put some of them on this so that you guys could see. We're using green pepper, red pepper, some cream cheese, parmesan cheese, shrimp. I got the extra large because it's already deveined and all. It will be easier for me. But you can go with the colossal or really jumbo ones or fresh ones from the market. Butter, you know, you can get the stick of butter, but I like to use, I can't believe it's not butter. And then I went and I got some real big in pieces, but if you don't want to use this, you could actually fry your bacon by yourself and just cut it, I guess. And then we're going to use some chicken of the sea premium crab meat. I'm using the claw, but you could always use the lump meat. It's because that was the only thing I found. Also, we're going to be adding some mozzarella cheese. And lastly, I went and I got a big piece of salmon. Okay, so yeah, let's really get started. I'm gonna show you guys my seasoning as I go along, I guess. Yeah. Okay, so you're gonna go and you're gonna rinse your green peppers and red peppers. I rinsed them with water and then vinegar, just because. And then we're going to cut them into little pieces. I'm using this big knife because I don't know what my other knives are right now, so we're just gonna have to deal with what we got. Okay, cut it in half, like this. I'm going to be making this for a lot of people, but right now I just want to focus on showing you guys how to make this for two. And really, because this knife is big, it's looking like a lot of work when it's really not that much work to cut this. But you're gonna get rid of the stem part, like so. I kind of like to go back in and rinse the inside. I don't know why, like it's just something I like to do to get rid of the seeds, leftover seeds and stuff, because it could get really sticky. Now I'm just going over, kind of cutting the big pieces until we have something kind of like this. Okay. And I'm gonna put this in a separate bowl and we're gonna get back to that later. Okay, so I took the shrimp and I rinsed it out. I thawed it out and I'm just wiping it off, like the excess water, and then I'm putting it on the, oh, it ripped, Jesus, it wasn't a lot of water. And then I'm putting it onto the cutting board. Then I'm going to kind of season it on here. And I'm putting some creole seasoning. I really like this one. It's very good and it has no MSG. So for those people who suffers from like headache and stuff, you need to watch out for your MSGs and stuff. And I'm just, oh, it fell, seasoning on here. If you want to do it in a pot, you can. I just have the cutting board out. It's just more convenient for me to do it this way here. Some salt. Oh, my salt is kind of really done. Okay, I need new salt. Right here, some garlic powder. Some garlic powder, a little bit. Some black pepper. And then we're gonna take this Cajun style seasoning and we're just gonna add a little tiny bit of it on here. And yeah, if you want to be a little bit extra, you can put some of this instead of the Cajun one. You can add the dash seasoning blend, and I just got this today. right? And then just a little bit of it. You can add both, you can add a little bit, it doesn't matter. So you put that, and then you just mix it in together. You can let it sit somewhere, but I'm gonna just move on to putting it into the, oh yeah, my fault. And I like to add a little bit of this lemon juice, but if you have actual like lime and stuff, this is lime juice, lemon juice, whatever. I like to just put just one little drop of it. After it's all seasoned up and all that, I'm gonna put it to the side, and I'm gonna take a pan and heat up some butter. Okay, I'm coming back. I'm just adding a stick of butter. I ended up using the imperial butter because can't believe that butter is not really it, and I found this, so use this instead. But if you have it, it's fine. Ooh wee, it's kind of hot. Okay. And while it's melting, we are going to add the shrimp. So, okay. And we're gonna saute this like until it's like halfway cooked, because we don't want it fully cooked because it's going under the oven. We're gonna leave it on one side for about a minute, and this is on medium heat. And I'm not using a lot of shrimp because I know that I'm going to stuff this salmon with a whole lot of crab meat and stuff. Guys, it's starting to smell really, really, really good. Okay, now it's been a minute. I'm going and I'm flipping it over. Okay, we're gonna just let it sit again some more for another minute or so. So after, you know, it starts looking like this, what we're going to do is move it into, actually we can just leave it in here and take it off of the stove. Okay, so after this we're just gonna turn it off and move it off the stove, and we're gonna start working on our dipping. Okay, so now we're taking a bowl, right? We're going in with cream cheese. We're going to use some cream cheese, and make sure it's very soft, because if it's not, it's going to be trouble for you to mix it together. Okay, we're going with this. So now I'm adding the red and green peppers. A step you could do also, you can saute this if you want, but you don't have to. I just rather have the little crunch in it. Then we're going in with some bacon, and we're gonna add, not a lot, just a little bit. So this is the claw meat. As you guys can see, it's actually claw meat, it's real meat. That's why this one is a little bit on the more money wise, well side, whatever. And we're gonna add all of it in there. You don't have to add all of it, but I just like a lot of crab meat, and I want to make a lot of, you know, dip. And don't get the water in there. Actually, you don't even have to use all of it. You can use half of it. We're going to take our shrimp, and you know they're really big, and we have to put this inside the salmon. We don't want to have big chunks, so what we're going to do is just kind of cut it into little pieces so that it would fit in there. And now we're taking the same plate bowl, we're adding the shrimp in it. Okay, we're gonna add in the Parmesan cheese. So it's time for Parmesan cheese. That will help stick in anything. And I'm just using this mozzarella cheese right here. You see it? Yep. And then I'm taking in some seasoning. I'm using this Cajun one again. I'm adding a little bit of it in here. Some Italian seasoning. It's up to you. You don't have to add all these things, but I just like to. Some oregano. Pretty much I'm adding everything that I added earlier. Some of that Creole seasoning, you know, I can't live without. And a little bit of black pepper. And lastly, some onion powder. And then we're just gonna mix everything in, but on top of that, we're going to add the rest of the buttery, yes, butter that was left from the shrimp. I mean, taking a spoon, we're just really going in and mashing everything together. I know it's gonna seem like it's not doing it, but just take your time and make sure you mash it up really, really well. And this is where the part where I told you the cream cheese needs to be soft. So we're just mashing everything in. I'm gonna come back and show you guys the final mashed up product. And then the last thing I forgot to tell you guys to add is, again, some lime juice. Just add a little bit on the top of this so that it's not a lot, and just a little bit more. That's it. So now, after you're really done mashing everything in together, it should look like this. Don't worry about, you know, if it's more cream cheese on the other. It's going under the oven, so it will soften, but this is what it's supposed to look like, and it's so tasty. You can actually, if you cook the shrimp fully, you can actually eat this and make it like a dip or something. But yeah, and if you want to be on the healthy side, you can add a little bit of spinach in here. And yeah, oh yeah, so this is the salmon. You know, we're gonna go and we're gonna rinse it. Okay, so I have my pan right here, but I put some aluminum foil on it because I just didn't want to dirty it. And I'm going in with some of that stick butter that I have, and I'm just going to I know I'm walking while I'm talking this. I'm just going to just apply it all over the aluminum foil so that it's very buttery and very just lifting. Just add it, because I still don't want it to stick to this, so just add. What you're going to do is take the salmon and you're going to cut a little pocket into it. Make sure you don't cut it big enough to come out this way, so it's just a pocket like this, okay? All right, and you're going to take your stuffing, the amount you want, and you're just going to stuff it like this. We're stuffing it like this. As you can see, we're stuffing it until we can't stuff no more. Okay, so it's a nice little pocket. It's stuffed on one side and not on the other. Okay, stuffed like this, really creamy, really nice. Okay, you can overstuff if you want. You can put a little bit of stuffing, but I kind of like when mine oozes out. And we're gonna put it down right here on the side like this. I'm doing a whole thing of salmon, so yeah, I'm gonna keep doing that. I'm gonna show you guys again how to do it. Okay, so right here I stuffed everything. I'm done with all of it. There are some pieces here that were extra long I couldn't stuff in. I just put the stuffing on top of it. But yes, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 pieces. This could feed actually way more than 7, but it depends. I'm just making for everybody. But this is it right now. Okay, I preheated my oven to 325, and I'm gonna put this bad boy in the oven for about 12 to 15 minutes, depending on how much you want your how well you want your salmon to cook. I'm going in with this Cajun again seasoning, and I'm just going to apply that on top of the salmon because we don't want it to be too bland, you know. We're just applying it, and then I'm gonna show you guys the trick that I do. Just applying it on top of the salmon so that it could have some flavor, you know. Don't worry about, you know, a lot spilling. It's just a little bit. Then we're going in with some of that onion powder. I really like it, and it's just good. So just make sure you apply it on top of the salmon only. But if some of it falls on top of the stuffing, that's fine. We just want it to be really flavorful and really, really good. So just make sure you do this. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of this dash. I'm gonna add a little bit of dash on top of it also. And then yeah, so this will be really it. Nothing crazy. Knife, but we're just going to add a little bit of butter like this on the top of it and kind of spread it around. Oof, my finger. Kind of spread it around or kind of leave it on top of it so that it could be really juicy and creamy and all that good stuff. We're just applying it like, yeah, not a lot, just a little bit. And then that's really it. We're gonna wait for the oven to get to 325, and I'm gonna place it in there, and I'm gonna come back and show you guys the final product. In the meantime, I'm gonna make some pasta to go with it. And this right here is the final product. Okay, here is the final product. I made some pasta on the side, and this is how nice and amazing my dish looks. So